not my best.
Easy.
I'm so glad.
A new...
You think it's... Professor. Do you have a moment, Professor? I need to speak with you. Thank you so much. This is what I wanted to address. This letter from my adoptive father just arrived. Oh, have I not mentioned him? He's the reason I first came to the Officers' Academy. He's also the one who dragged me from the church where I was living, just so he could use my crest. My crest does not yet belong to a house, so he plans to use it as leverage to marry into the nobility. He's a very greedy man who was a roving merchant before adopting me, but now he's in the capital. This letter says that he's finally arranged to marry me off to a wealthy noble. I know he's just thinking of himself, but can't he see that this isn't a priority when we're at war? don't know what to do about this proposal. I can't see any way around it, so I fear that I must. I just don't want to let go of the life that I've made for myself. I know it's not what my heart wants, but I don't have the strength to say no. I believe I've mentioned this before, but I want to work in service of the church. Well, I suppose it doesn't necessarily have to be the church, but I want to help those in need. If I were to marry a noble, I think it would be difficult to realize that dream. It's just, I've always allowed myself to follow the whims of those above me. I convinced myself that everything in life was at the will of the goddess. I was blind to reality. I believed it was her will to both pull me from the church and guide me to the officers' academy. The decision to enter this war was the first time I acted of my own free will. My adoptive father opposed this decision, but I somehow managed to convince him. Still, I couldn't free myself of him completely. This letter is proof of that. It's not that I'm scared of him, but there is something that worries me. I knew you'd understand, Professor. I've sat down to write a reply several times, but I can't muster up the courage or the word. I was hoping you could provide me with the encouragement I need. If I don't, he'll go ahead with the arrangement. I suppose I must aim toward cutting him out of my life completely. Okay. I think that may have been just the push I was looking for. I'll tell him the truth. That I found a life worth pursuing, and I must decline the proposal. Maybe I should tell him I've fallen for someone else. Why, it's you, Professor. Isn't that obvious? I'm just teasing. Now I'm off to write this letter and stand my ground. Thank you for your encouragement.
I'm so glad I found you here, Professor. Now I don't have to worry about what to do with myself. Captain Gerald told me to look out for you after all, so now my purpose is clear. I'll do everything I can to protect you.
It was meant to be. You fought well. One to remember. It was meant to be. One to remember.
I return to my domain, my lonely paradise, my realm of exquisite solitude. Huh? Professor? Is that, you didn't hear that just now, did you? Oh, forget you heard anything! No.
probably keep things to myself. But in all honesty, what matters to me, more than anything, is ensuring a peaceful, quiet future for my parents. I don't care about the kingdom. I simply want to remove the threat of the Empire. Because of this, Dimitri's fixation on Edelgard is convenient to me. I fight for my own reasons, and no others.
Do you have time for a request?
Professor. Apologies for bothering you so late. I just really wanted to speak with you. Thank you. You see, I've been feeling conflicted about my future. It may seem petty to worry about such things in the middle of a war like this. This isn't something I open up about with many people. Feeling such a sense of inner turmoil while a war rages on, and others are fighting with all they have, well, it feels a little selfish. The truth is, I've wanted to be a knight ever since I was a small child. Not just any knight, like one you might find serving within the castle guard, but a true knight, one serving a master. However, my father has always had different plans for me. He wants me to marry, for the benefit of the Galatea family. Defying my father feels wrong. I've seen how he's struggled over the years. His burden has always been far greater than any I've had to bear myself. While he fed me extravagant meals, he subsisted on meager portions and watered-down soups. He never once complained, even though he must have been starving. Knowing his sacrifices, I've never been able to tell him of my dream of becoming a knight. Now that this war has begun, my father has allowed me to fight for my homeland. But even if I do become a knight, I feel an unease deep within me. I fear I will never escape this guilt I carry, that I have shunned my duty as a noble. Yes, I know. All I can do is accept this inner turmoil. Even with the academy days long behind us, you're still a professor through and through, always listening to others' troubles and offering up your wisdom. I really am grateful for all that you do for us, Professor. I hope you'll always be here as a guide to everyone. I know I myself would appreciate that deeply.
Hey, now that I think about it, His Highness was right. We probably don't have time to waste on cleaning.
Maybe I wasn't taking the situation seriously enough. After all, the Imperial Army could be showing up at any time. I was just so happy to see you again. And everyone else too. Maybe I got carried away. Oh, really? That's so nice to hear. Maybe.
Hey! Quite given up on ever seeing you again. Where have you been hiding? Anyway, now that we're reunited in the land of the living, I must fulfill my promise. That's right. I promised the captain I'd protect you in his stead, and now I'll make good on my word.
Oh. Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. You know, it's such a thrill to be able to greet you like this again. I almost died as well in the battle 5 years ago, but I won't allow any enemies to get into this place again. I promise you that. Even if the Death Knight shows up, I'll be sure to... Well, for now I'll keep training, so I can eventually feel confident that I can stop him.
Hello there. This one, yes? I think. Return soon, please.
Really now? There's unrest everywhere these days. All of my fellow merchants seem to be in danger. I hope things go back to normal soon. People need more to smile about, aside from my great deals. Hey, how about a favor?
Got a favor to ask.
Oh.
Dear Goddess, please allow His Majesty to rest in peace. Who is it? Oh, Professor. What brings you here at this hour? I am most sorry for disturbing you. The hour is late, Professor. You should be resting in preparation for the day to come. I was offering my prayers to the Goddess. It is all that I can do now. I told you I was in service of the royal family, yes? When I was only a young soldier, the king saw fit to make a knight of me. I was given the great honor of guiding and protecting the royal family. It was similar to your own work. I was a teacher of sorts. I instructed both King Lambert and Prince Dimitri in the arts of combat, tactics, and academia. I also did all in my power to keep them safe. Until that day, I was unable to fulfill my duty. I was powerless. Yes. When I received word of the attack, it was already too late. His Majesty was dead, along with many knights and soldiers. If only I had made it to Dusker more quickly. It is my fault that His Highness Dimitri has become the way he is now. After that, I abandoned my wife and child and fled my homeland. I turned my back on everything I swore to protect. My sins are countless. I will bear the weight of my guilt for as long as I live. What else can I do for His Majesty and all of those who died that day? Long ago, there was someone who told me something quite similar. Forgive me. This will not do. As I grow older, I find myself talking endlessly about the past. But it is too late for such things now. I have finished my prayers. We should return.
Professor, is there any reason for me to remain? I want to be useful, of course, but I'm not sure anyone needs me. If you really mean that, I will stay and do my best to help.
Professor. Professor. Oh, hey, Professor. Actually, I ran into that thief while I was shopping just now. Maybe you don't remember. It's been quite a while. The man who stole the book from that market stall. I saw him on the street with his kid. They were both so grateful. It's a really nice feeling. Yeah, but it did seem like they were still having trouble getting by. I guess what you said to me back then was right. My actions didn't really solve the problem. I can't help everyone, no matter how much I try. If I had the money or power, maybe. But I don't. You know, a long time ago, Leonardo said nearly the same thing to me. I think it was when I tried to look after the horses all on my own. I really messed that up. He said, "You're not quite ready for this yet, but there's no need to rush." I know I can't help very many people right now, but I think doing what I can for those I see in front of me is still worthwhile. I have to believe that, at least. Thanks. That's reassuring to hear. What about you, Professor? Has anything been troubling you lately? I'd be happy to help. As long as it's not looking after horses, you might not want to trust me with that. I genuinely enjoy helping people. It's a great feeling making someone smile. So if there's anything I can do for you, I want to do it, because I care about you. I didn't mean it in a romantic way. I just really look up to you. So what'll it be? How can I help? Of course! I'd be glad to cook with you.
Hey. I'm more of a mercenary than a knight these days. I work to get paid. I never was too attached to Fodlan. I was considering leaving soon, but I might change my mind if you're around.
Hey!
Finally, I notched a win against you. True, it was a narrow victory. When we spar, I feel like I'm revisiting my past. It's like training with my brother. He always won. Always. And died before I could win a single bout. From the first time I held a sword, all I wanted was to surpass him. And that's what drove me to become so strong. Perhaps it's absurd to say such a thing, but I've spent all these years training for a duel with a corpse. Yes, I suppose I did. I can never again spar with my brother. Not unless he climbs out of his grave. Still, I continue my endless pursuit of strength. Maybe because I have a new opponent to measure myself against. You, obviously. I beat you this time. But when we next cross swords, who knows what might happen. It was a close match, not a crushing victory. I know that I can do better. I will surpass you in strength. And then I'll become stronger still. And then, when this war is over, I won't have as many chances to swing my sword. I can hardly imagine that. Anyway, thank you for helping me find an answer to the question you asked all those years ago.
Professor?
Okay.
In the Alliance, the Lords have been at odds, so peace and prosperity have declined. In particular, bandits have been appearing in large numbers near the Great Bridge of Murd. Rumor has it that the domain's lord, someone by the name of Acheron, is a completely ineffectual leader.
Oh.
Yes. During his search for her grace, the Archbishop, Seteth has visited churches all across the land. It served to demonstrate to the devout across Fodlan that the Church of Seros is still going strong. As a result, the faithful are not currently in a state of chaos.
Right.
Professor, I am so glad you are unharmed. No matter the path you walk, I will be with you every step of the way. Anything you ask of me, I shall see it through. You saved my life, and I am in your debt.
During the Millennium Festival, the leaders of all territories were supposed to gather together and pledge perpetual peace. But now that hope has been dashed, thanks to the Emperor's action. The Alliance is also divided on the subject of the Empire, so internal conflicts are a regular occurrence.
Hey, I could use a hand.
I need a favor.
So, yeah, the Alliance is such a mess. How are we supposed to know where's safe and where's not? I should probably just move my little sis and grandpa to Garrick Mach. At least I could keep working on becoming a proper knight without having to worry about them. I gotta find him a house once things calm down a bit.
You're kidding. Is Dedu really gone? There's so much more I wanted to say to him. He was always so tender with the flowers in the greenhouse. I wonder how they're doing.
I finally managed to meet up with everyone again, but they're all so gloomy. Hey, Professor, care to join me for a cup of tea? We could invite the others and the soldiers. Doesn't it? Oh, there probably isn't time to bake any treats, though. Oh, I should invite Dimitri to come along as well, though I don't suppose he'll want to join in.
Hey, Professor! You won't believe what happened. I figured I couldn't go back to the Empire after Garrick Mach fell, so I started drifting across the Kingdom and Alliance. Then, I just happened to run into our old class, so we came back to the monastery together.
Wise indeed to say. Maybe. This is hardly a palatable. Wow.
This is...
If you don't mind, I have a favor to ask.
Hey, Professor. It's been a while. It's really good to see you again. Gorgeous as ever, might I add. An awful lot has happened in these past 5 years. There were so many times I wished you were around. I'm glad you're back. Your skills are worth more than a whole army.
Okay.
Hello, Professor. What brings you here? Fancy a bit of fishing? Are you looking for help with something? Ah, no. Your eyes tell a different story. You know, I can hardly go fishing without thinking of old Gerald. He and I would just sit here, casting our lines again and again. I'm no better at it now than I was then. Not a single nibble. Just like your father. You know all the tricks of the fisherman's trade. I was hopeless at it, but he was a master. In the time it took me to catch one fish, he could fill his basket to the brim. You know, talking to you, I'm feeling very nostalgic. Why don't you join me? We can trade some stories about the old man. We spoke before about how Gerald never seemed to age, right? Once, when he was drunk, he let the secret slip. He said he'd had an infusion of crest-bearing blood, and it had greatly extended his life. Well, we'd both been drinking. I figured he was joking, so I just laughed it off. Then I asked him his age. He said he'd stopped counting after he hit 100, and he was telling the truth. In those 20 years he was away, he didn't age a bit. An incredible person, to be sure. And I probably don't know the half of it. Actually, I'd like to ask you something about Gerald, if you don't mind. When Gerald was away from the monastery, what was he like? In other words, he was exactly the same. When I was his squire, he was always hollering for a drink. He just wouldn't put a cork in it. But on the battlefield, he was unequaled. That's why people used to call him the Blade Breaker. I have to say, right now, fishing with you, it really takes me back. This feels just like the good old days, when Gerald was sitting alongside me.
Garrick Mach is a mess. So is Dimitri, honestly. If not for you arriving, Professor, I'd be heading home about. Though staying here is still more appealing than living with my big brother.
Lovely. The promise was made 5 years ago. But I must say I'm rather impressed by how many of us managed to make it. Personally, I only showed up because I hope to see you again, Professor. I've been with my family in the Empire until recently. I admit to feeling a little guilty betraying Her Majesty, but only a little. Now that we're all together again, I suppose the fighting will begin soon.
Could be. These past 5 years, many kingdom houses have become vassals of the Empire. The major houses of Fraldarius, Gautier, Karen, and my own family Galatea remain loyal, but the lords of the minor domains in the west have almost entirely defected. After all the royal family has done for them, they respond with betrayal, and to think they have the gall to call themselves nobles. But we still have His Highness, and you, Professor. I'm sure we can take back the kingdom's lands.
Edelgard is controlling the Empire. She is putting the pressure on the kingdom and alliance. Empire and religion are at open war. It will be difficult for us at first, but corrupt nobles are many. That means the common people will rebel and be joining our side. With you, Professor, the battle tides will turn. I have certainty.
Yes.
Really? Professor!
It seems that in the last 5 years, the monks here have left this place for the town below. However, once they learn of our return, perhaps they'll come back. I hope the monastery can return to normal someday.
Oh, hi, Professor. Do you remember what we talked about before? About doing my best to not do my best? Well, I've been pretty busy recently, and despite my best efforts, I've been trying way too hard. I was busy all day yesterday with training and work. I just couldn't help myself. That's why I decided to take a day off today. It's just, now that I have a day off, I don't know what to do with myself. Please, you have to help me. What should I do? I can't relax if I'm doing nothing. I need something to keep me occupied or I'll go nuts. I'm sorry, but I don't think I'm cut out for not doing my best. Oh, you're a professor. You must know some secret technique for deep relaxation, right? If you do, please teach me. I'm begging you. I'm at my wit's end. Got it. I'll try that right now. This candy is so sweet and delicious, and it goes so well with piping hot tea. Ooh, and speaking of the tea, your brewing skills are incredible. I'd love to be able to make such nice tea, but... Oh, Professor, will you teach me how to brew tea like this? I'll do my best to learn, and then I'll make delicious tea for you as thanks. Oh, sorry. Back to my old tricks, it seems. So, why is it so difficult to not do my best? I try and try to not try, but it just doesn't work. Professor, you're right. Doing nothing is just not my style. To be myself, I've got to do my best every day. Okay. Then you really must teach me how to make such delicious tea. You will, won't you? Please. Oh, and also, well,
Thank you. You've listened to me and helped me face my troubles. Now I feel like I can talk to you about anything. Honestly, I wish we could go on drinking tea like this forever.
Let's see.
Oh, Professor. Seeing everyone together again? It's like I'm in a dream. I feel it's time for me to forge my own path and find my own place in this world. Yes, they're in the Alliance, but they're merchants, so they have the means to escape if need be.
Listen to the...
You look like a cat that's been sprayed with water. What? You don't think I should sing the...
Hello. I have a request concerning that creature. I can hardly look at the thing in the state it's in. Do something about it. Don't just give up like that. We tracked the boar for 5 years. I thought he was dead. In the state he's in, he might as well be. He's gotten better at killing people. And in exchange, surrendered what little humanity he had.
Okay.
Oh, good. Thanks.
How? We have given proper burial to the Imperial soldiers killed in the monastery. The ones who were sent to investigate the thieves. Already, rumors spread that they were utterly annihilated. So regardless of whether there are spies observing us, the Imperial army will know of this soon enough. Your Highness, Dimitri, how could you be so reckless? I have a request.
Yep. Listen. I have lost my dominion. My nobility may seem like nothing more than a type, but I will never lose my noble heart. I will stop Edelgard. Even if it costs me my life, I have turned my blade against her now. I cannot go back on that decision. Professor, do you think I chose the wrong path? You are right.
Professor!
What do you say? Thankfully, it appears the records and equipment I need for my research have not been damaged. I am most curious, though. You say you were asleep for 5 whole years. Incredible. Perhaps this is another effect of your crest. I do look forward to investigating you in greater detail. Wonderful news. I am most excited to begin. We must find the time, of course.
Professor? My professor? You haven't changed a bit. At your age, I'd expect your whole demeanor to have changed greatly over 5 years. Though, I suppose I haven't changed either, right? Thank you for noticing, by the way. Ah, just the two of us, forever young. Oh, let me have my fun.
5 long years I've searched for you and the Archbishop. It is a pleasure to see you again. The Church of Seros will follow you from now on, but please do not abandon the search for Lady Rhea. Thank you. I know the battles ahead will be dire, but we will support you with all our strength.
In Lady Rhea's absence, I will follow you. That's what she would want me to do. Know that wherever you might lead us, I'll continue searching for Lady Rhea. Good, because I will not budge on that point. Welcome back, Professor.
Oh yeah, I don't know anything about rebuilding, but I can sure do my best to clean up the mess. I'm gonna keep Lady Rhea's room spotless, so she can use it right away whenever she...
Professor! Oh my, it's so good to see. These days, so many old friends seem to be disappearing. But you're here. It's incredible to see you again after 5 years. I have a feeling your name will go down in history.
Oh, wow, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My, thank you so much.
Professor!
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. It's you. You're still alive. It's been 5 whole years, hasn't it? Time flies when you're standing guard. That's right, I've been here the whole time. Day in and day out. Not like I have anywhere else to be. Seems to me things are pretty tough up top anyhow. These days it's probably cozier down here than it is up there. How's that for a change of pace?
Yes. A lot of folks cleared out once the fighting started. People are saying it was the church that used to keep order around here, but it's Yuri who's saving us from complete chaos.
What do you require? Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be... Now let me see. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be... Now let me see. I see this one has gained some experience. Now let me see. Marvelous. Fare thee well. What do you require? Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, indeed. Now let me see. Ah, yes, this one's growth is going quite well. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. Perhaps you'd have better luck with the animals of the monastery. Fare thee well.
Hey, pal. These past 5 years have been so chaotic, even the bounty hunters backed off. I kinda miss the chase. I don't have family ties worth fighting for, so these muscles are up for grabs. Use me as you see fit, pal. You're a smart one. Just point me at a problem and I'll smash it up for you. If you're worried my skills have dulled from disuse, think again. I've been fighting thieves to stay sharp. If you're worried... got a favor to ask.
Oh, you have the look of someone relieved to see. Before you ask, yes, my superior spellcraft is yours. It's your reward for waiting so patiently for me. I'm sure that you need me, and that is enough. I recommend that you accept my generous offer. But my assistance has a price. I expect you to aid me in fulfilling my dream of restoring House Nouvelle.
finally! I've been waiting for so long. I thought you might have died. But I didn't have anywhere else to go, so I stayed here. I'll think about forgiving you. I've been kinda lonely. As you might have noticed, we've lost a few people down here. I could use your help.
You've been snoozing a while, so allow me to fill you in. There's a madman roaming Fargus. Imperial troops entering Kingdom settlements are destroyed seemingly overnight. Townspeople on the front lines are terrified. And yet they simultaneously treat this as though he's some sort of hero, blazing through the land. Can't imagine their surprise when they realized it was their own prince.
Why, hello there. If it is your wish. Everything is within your... Come back soon now.
Hello, Gilbert. Done with your drills? That's a shame. I was just about to ask if you'd spar with me. Oh, bad timing.
Eh? As I understood, you wounded your arm in battle. Were you not told to avoid exerting yourself for some time, so as to not aggravate the injury?
The arm's all healed now. Thanks for asking. Besides, I have to keep exercising it or the muscle will waste away. Here I am, ready to spar.
Catherine, your wound was gravely deep, and should be given time to heal.
It's not the first time I've gotten a scratch in battle. You needn't be concerned. Besides, eventually I'll lose this whole body, not just an arm. As a knight, I have to come to terms with the fact that I will die someday.
Please, speak not of such ill-omened thoughts. I could not bear to see you fall in battle, Cassandra. Oh, pardon me. I am quite sorry, Catherine.
Is something wrong? It's not like you to blurt that out where anyone could overhear.
I allowed my emotions to best my good sense. My deepest apology.
It's not like anyone is looking for me in Garreg Mach, but still. Since we both have secrets to hide, we'd do well to watch our mouths. Right, Gustav?
Yes, agreed. It may be poor compensation for my gaffe, but I will aid you in your training if you are still interested. If you're completely certain you're healed and strong enough, that is.
Always so formal, eh? Still, I humbly accept your kind offer, good sir. Let's see how your lance skills fare against me.
Professor! Huh? My savior, thank you!
Professor!
This is my favorite.
This.
Yeah, you just...
Eating delicious.
This looks...
I like... This is my...
Oh!
Oh, is that Marianne? Ah, no, sorry. It's just you turned so quickly. It gave me a start. I don't mean to interrupt your prayers, but what's with that posture? Don't you think lowering your head so much might, I don't know, offend the goddess? Maybe, spook her a little?
I'm not praying, only confessing.
Confessing? What are you confessing for?
For everything about me.
That can't possibly be necessary. There's no way you're as bad as you make it seem. I've seen how kind you are with the horses, and I've noticed you're always sensitive to everyone's tastes when you cook.
But that's...
Yeah, well, if either of us is going to confess, it should be me. I used to be a thief. I may have only stolen because I was poor and starving, but it was still wrong. I'm only even here thanks to Lenato. He gave me a second chance, and now I eat well every day. I'm doing all I can to make the most of it. You're a noble yourself, aren't you? The daughter of Margrave Edmund, I think. And if you're a noble, that means... Do you happen to have a crest?
A crest? I do, but it's...
I knew it. That's great, Marianne.
There's nothing great about it.
Please, don't be modest. It's an extraordinary gift. You should be proud of it. If I had one, I'd use it to make sure my brother and sister never had to live in poverty. Think about all the good you could do for the world with your power.
No, I can't. You don't understand. This crest is worthless. I'm sorry, but I must go.
No, not again. I'm not good at this.
That was my worst mistake yet. Why am I so clumsy all the time? The women laughed and forgave me, but... Oh, how am I supposed to face them now?
Hey there, Annette. What's with the sour face? Everything okay? I don't think I've ever seen you look so miserable.
Don't tease me like that, Caspar. Can't you see I'm down?
Sorry. You know I didn't mean it. Did something happen? You don't have to share if you don't want to, but I think talking it out might help.
You might be right about that. Are you sure you don't mind?
Not at all.
Well, today they were short on staff in the dining hall, so I offered to help out, but I sort of messed up. Big.
Oh no. What happened?
All the plates in the kitchen went flying through the air, and the pots started giving off this weird blue steam.
Wow, sounds more like art than cooking to me.
The people in the dining hall saw the chaos and started panicking, and then soldiers came running. Finally, Catherine appeared and shut everyone up with a slash of Thunderbrand. All I was trying to do was help out. But in the end, I just ended up making more work for everyone. I'm awful like that.
I wouldn't worry about it too much. Accidents happen. It's not like you were trying to make a mess.
I know. The women at the dining hall laughed and forgave me. But...
Was anyone hurt?
Well, No, but...
Well, there you go. No need to dwell on it and keep moping around. You had a bad day, but I'm sure you'll do better tomorrow.
You know what? You're right. I guess all I can do is try harder next time. Thanks, Caspar. That really did help me feel better. I can't keep moping around. I've got to work on my cooking skills. And I can count on you to be my taste tester, right? Right.
Sure. Just as long as you're not making any new art projects.
I would like... I would... Very...
Who is it? Let's get... This... I thought... All right. What?
I learned all that work. Yes.
I got a question. I think I get it.
Professor.
will handle...
Oh.
I will report...
Interesting.
It's within my... I've learned a...
I've never...
Not...
Is that singing?
The blue sea glimmers in the dark. The red canyon calls. Goddess, reach in dreams. To her throne she falls.
Well, Gilbert, what do you think?
My lady, you were not meant to notice me.
Nobody could miss a good man like you.
My apologies for interrupting. Please excuse me.
No, Gilbert, hold on a moment. You're not disturbing me, truly. I want very much to know what you thought of my singing. The least you can do is tell me.
You were lovely. You sounded lovely.
Lovely? Is that what you really feel? Please, be honest.
Why would you suppose I was dishonest?
That is not the look of someone who just heard what they deem to be lovely. It hurts my confidence when my voice can't even lure a fleeting smile to your face. It's as though my singing voice has died since stepping off the Middle Franc stage.
My Lady Manuela, that could be no further from the truth.
If that's the case, then Gilbert, I challenge you to a duel! My singing versus your iron mask. I will break through, and I will see passion in your eyes.
Why did she leave so suddenly? And what could she have meant by a duel? Something is surely troubling her.